Yeah, we said it January 11th and then we ordered Chris Nolan as the mediator and put down that they need to mediate within, by December 1st. Okay, let's go on the record on cause number DC 2100507, Smolinski versus Dow Central Appraisal District. Counsel and parties, please make your appearances.
Grzegorz Smolinski, plaintiff.
Braden Metcalf for the Dallas Central Appraisal District.
All right, let's go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a basic information about this case. This is a tax appraisal case. The subject property in this case is 7626 Anson Circle. And a proper discovery request was made in this case on March 24th. And in 37 days, a response was received and it was partial. How did we get to the 37 days? On the 28th day of the request, I received a notification to resend that request as it cannot be found by the defendant. And I've done so. And the next day, I was also asked for the extension of 2 weeks for this request. So I agreed to 1 extra week, and that's how we arrived at 37 days. Additionally, Your Honor, to avoid this motion, I sent email on May 13th, May 14th, and May 17th to the defendant asking for the documents that were still missing from the original request, and there was no response. I know that the defendant has received those emails, as on June 6th, I sent a settlement offer for this case and did receive a response on June 7th at 5:24 a.m. Declining the settlement offer. So I know the email works. I have tried to resolve it without the court involvement, and I was not successful doing so. So far, we have 3 pieces, Your Honor, that are still outstanding. So piece number 1 is production of documents for subject property. Piece number 2 is production of documents for comparable properties. And the third part is interrogatories 2, 3, and 5 through 10 that have been responded to with objections that lack merit. As far as as far as production for the properties, for the subject properties, I attach Exhibit A, which shows that Dallas Central Appraisal District have provided those documents in the past, and they are in possession of those documents. But for some reason, I was not able to get those documents through the request this time around. Exhibit B shows the documents that are outstanding as far as comparable properties. And it shows again that the Dallas Central Appraisal District has those documents. They have been produced in the past. When the request was made this time, they have not been produced. In terms of interrogatories, Your Honor, interrogatories 2 and 3, as well as 5 through 10, have been objected with very similar objections. Those objections state that the interrogatories are vague, that they're ambiguous, and they ask for documents that are asking questions in regards to expert witness opinions. All those objections are not correct. For example, interrogatory number 9 asks, what is the price of subject property using cost method for year 2020? That information is within control and possession of the defendant, and the question and interrogatories that are being asked are on a factual basis. There's nothing vague or ambiguous about the question asking about the price of appraisal for a certain tax year.
Sir, why don't you just stop for a second? So let's kind of go through this.
Yes.
We're going to go through just kind of step by step. So you're asking for, it's a little unclear with the way this is written. Are you objecting? Okay. Requests for production, including request productions 1 through 21. Are you asking for supplementation on what, 1, 3, 5, 7 through 12, 15, 18, 20, and 21?
So that would be for the subject properties. Yes, those production have not occurred.
Okay.
And then for
Mr. Met, just a second. Mr. Metcalf, what's your response to those?
We did not object even to one of his requests. He's a frequent litigator with us. We know exactly what he's going to do on every single case. We provided him every single document that we have. I did not object to any of the requests for productions, not one single objection in the entire lot. We're not, if he has a document, I'll tell my client to go look for it again and produce additional stuff. But they were told to do their diligent search like they do with every file, and we provided him every single thing that he asked for. He's filed a motion to compel in every single case he's ever filed. I'm not saying that that's incorrect. I'm just saying we're trying to get this done and we're not going to satisfy him. So that's why we need the court's intervention.
So I'm trying to figure out here, okay, so this is, where is the request for production in here? What page of the?
I think because there were no objections, he didn't attach them.
I think the original request, Your Honor, is attached towards the bottom after the exhibits A and B.
This is unstopped. Let me see. Was this is interrogatories. Has he objected to any of these interrogatories, sir? Mr. Smolinski?
Yes, we did object to the interrogatories because we haven't done.
I'm sorry. Has he objected to any of the requests for production, Mr. Smolinski?
The request for production has not been objected to. It has not been provided for certain production requests that have occurred for Exhibit A and Exhibit B. So part of what happened is I asked for production on subject property, which is 7626 Anson Circle, and I received partial responses on that and some responses for 205 Alpine Drive that was not requested.
Okay, so is this the request you're talking about here that's on the screen?
Let me look at it, Your Honor, because I was looking for the documents. Yes, I am. I mean, this is a response from the defendant. This is not my original request.
This is their response, okay.
Yes.
It doesn't seem like they objected to anything.
No, I'm not saying they objected to it. What I'm asserting is that it's not been produced, and exhibits A and B from the previous cases show examples of what has been requested but has not been produced in addition to what has been produced. So we are outstanding on exhibits A and B's as far as production.
Response?
My client was told to diligently search their archival records for these documents in the regular course of business, and they have assured me that they have done so and provided every single document to him. I will commit to, within 10 days of today, taking the attached documents to my client and having them double check and verify or tell me why they weren't provided.
Okay, that seems fair. What is the next thing you have? Sorry, this is kind of going slow here. So the next thing is the interrogatories, and I think you said there were interrogatory number 2.
2, 3, and 5 through 10.
So is this your response here?
It is, Your Honor, and we will withdraw every single objection. The minute I get my expert report, I turn that expert report over and we remove all of the blanket objections. If you want to go
Okay.
ahead and overrule those objections today.
I'll go ahead and overrule objections interrogatory number 2.
And it's the same objections for all of them. We just don't have our report, so I couldn't provide substantive responses. So I
All
should.
right, so those objections are all overruled, and
Okay.
responses need to be made within 30 days.
We'll do that, Your Honor.
All right, what else do we have?
So the last item that I wanted for the court to consider is in accordance with the Texas Rule of Civil Procedure, Section 215, which states in the general terms that if the productions or the discovery responses are not made in good faith, an expense of the motion should be granted to the
You're asking for
other
sanctions.
party.
So- Yeah,
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I almost never grant those. So I'm going to deny that. Is that it?
That'll be all on my side. Yes, it is.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll comply and get that to him as quickly as we can.
Can you go ahead and prepare an order for me, share it with Mr. Smolinski, and then e-file that on the order? Make sure it says on June 21st, 2021, the court made the following order as opposed to on this date. Email it to Rhonda as well as e-file it with the court.
I will do that.
Your Honor, I have made a proposed order that lists the specific items as far as production for comparables, subject properties, and interrogatories. And it's been filed with the court.
Do you agree to the form of the order, Mr. Metcalf?
I do not. We'll get one.
Go ahead and submit one and share it with the opposing party, and then we'll just get it to me as soon as you can.
I'll do that by tomorrow, midday, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
You as well.
Your Honor, may I ask a question? What is objected to by the defendant to the order that has been proposed? I propose that order has been filed for a couple weeks already, and there has been no objection. I think the only objection that could be made would be to the cost of the as far as the sanctions. Everything else
There's no
agreed.
requirement. Just so you know, it sounds like you may have litigated before, but at least in my court, there's no requirement to object to the form of the order until I've actually made an order. So you guys just work it out, the terms of the order, and get it to me as soon as you can. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a good day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett, what are you here for, sir?
Your Honor, at 4:00, we have a continued hearing from last week in the Cabrera case. I'm just here a little early.